Hello and welcome back to Kim Reads as we continue with The Free Woman on God's Earth. Chapter 10. Come quickly, Mumbet, Jane Darby cried from the landing, her anxious face leaning over the banister. Mumbet got from stoking the fire in the kitchen, wiping her hands on her apron, and ran up the wide stairs. Jane took her arm and led her into Pamela Sedgwick's bedroom, where the woman was bent over in pain. Betty, the baby's coming. It's too early, groaned Pamela. Hush now, madam. Come over here to the bed and lie down. Mumbet gently rubbed Pamela's back and led her to the bed, quietly and calming her. Please help me, Betty. What's wrong? It seems like the little one wants to come now and can't wait for her birthday time. Breathe, madam, just breathe. Mumbet explained to the frightened woman, and realizing that the baby was really coming some 2 months early, and there was nothing anyone could do about it except hope for the best. Bet, can you stoke up the fire here and call a little bit? I need some hot water and clean linens. Of course. It was only 3 days after Christmas and bitterly cold. The house was still decorated festively. The children were playing in the nursery with 19-year-old little Bet, far away from the cries of their mother. Theodore Sedgwick was downstairs in his office, busily preparing papers to take to Boston. Little Bet, come and get me my herbs. Mumbet instructed her daughter. She knew just what to give Mrs. Sedgwick to take the edge off the pain and get ready for the birthing. Later that night, Sedgwick came up the stairs to find his wife holding their tiny new daughter. They named her Catherine Maria. Pamela smiled at her, but this birth had weakened her and it was difficult to care for the infant. Mumbet took the baby under her care and loved her like her own daughter. Mrs. Sedgwick recovered slowly, but never regained her strength. Catherine, tiny as she was, gradually grew strong and robust under Mumbet's care. One day, as Mumbet was bouncing Catherine on her knee, little Bet came up behind her face wreathed in smiles. Mama, she spoke breathlessly, I have something to tell you. Jonas has asked me to marry him, and I said yes. Mumbet turned to her daughter, her face beaming. Oh, child, that's good news indeed. Jonah Humphrey had been counting little Bet for almost a year. Spring was coming up in the summer, and it was a good time to get married. Jonah owned a house near Agrippa and Jane on Cherry Hill. Jonah planted a garden and put the finishing touches on their new home before the bride moved in. Many friends came over to the wedding party, and what a party it was. Catered by Agrippa and Jane, the food was tasty and plentiful. There was dancing and music, and Mumbet beamed with delight, knowing her daughter would be happy and close by. Within a year, Mumbet held her first grandchild in her arms. Although Mumbet continued living with the Sedgwicks, she spent most of the time with her new grandbaby, often bringing her to play with little Catherine. Mumbet took great pride in watching Catherine grow up. Catherine was a natural-born storyteller, and of all the people in her life, Catherine chose Mumbet to share her many stories with. She loved listening to the girl. Catherine, you weave a fine tale. You should write these stories down. Mary Bet, I think I might do just that. Mumbet remained at the Sedgwicks for the next 10 years. She had raised all of the Sedgwick children. They loved her like a mother. After Pamela Sedgwick passed away when Catherine was grown, Mumbet realized that the family no longer needed her. She had raised them well. Her own growing family wanted her to be near them as she aged. She added up her savings from her little bank and knew she would use the money for. She had spied a piece of land on Agawam Pond near her daughter and dreamed of a house there. With her earnings, she was able to buy 12 acres of land and built a small home for herself in the middle of the new and growing community of free blacks. It was a day filled with pride, and when she moved into her own home, a free, independent woman, she saw her grandchildren and great-grandchildren often, and Happy spoiled and indulged them. There she lived for the next 22 years, continuing to serve both black and white communities as nurse and midwife. Her skills, wit, and wisdom were sought after. She planted a garden and filled with herbs. She often lingered there amongst the sweet-smelling flowers, looked up the night sky, looking at the evening star, her mother's star. Catherine visited her Mammy Bet whenever she was in town, and for one of Mam Bet's birthdays, Catherine gave her a gold beaded necklace, which Mom Bet wore always. She loved to sit on her porch rocker surrounded by her grandchildren and great-grandchildren, tell them about her life as a slave and then a free woman. Many times, her eyes misting over, she would say these words: anytime when I was a slave, if I'd been offered 1 minute of freedom and told the end of that minute I would have to die, I would have to take in it. Just to stand 1 minute, a free woman on God's earth, I would. The children looked at her proudly, knowing that because of her, they too were free. Oh, Granny Bet, you've had more than 1 minute of freedom. Yes, I've been a free woman on God's earth for nearly 50 years. And that's the end of that chapter. Thanks for listening.